It's time to talk women's lacrosse, and we check in now with the Lady Flames and head coach Kelly Nangle, coming off a couple of tough games here at home this past week, and two good opponents coming up, Coach, as we look ahead to USF and then Notre Dame coming here. That's always exciting. We'll get to that in just a moment, but you and I were just talking before we started this conversation. The game against Stetson, back and forth, overtime game. If you're just a fan of lacrosse, probably really cool to watch, but when you're on the wrong end of it, I know it's got to be tough to take. Overall, what's your message to your team after games like that one?
Yeah, I think there's value to the experience of games like that. I mean, playing an overtime game, you go seasons without playing an overtime game, so that experience is great. But I think our main message moving forward is everything we want is still in front of us, so we just have to keep chipping away and keep putting work in, and just knowing that everything we want to achieve is still achievable. We just got to press on.
Yeah, the way that thing unfolded, you've got a lead late, or you're trailing going into the third quarter, right? And then you get two quick goals to take the lead. Olivia Young plays out of her mind. She's career-high 5 goals in that game. There's a lot of good things that you kind of take away from it, too. Still, how do you funnel those things to your players and say, hey, we did some things well, and here's where we have to clean up?
Yeah, I think that's important, highlighting, right, what do we do well? What have we been doing well throughout the season that we started off maybe not doing great? Where are our improvements? And so I think that is a big piece, like taking what you can from each game. That's the whole point. I talked to them before our last game. I said, we've played 10 games and we've experienced almost every different possible situation. So that is positive because we're just growing and learning and using that experience to our benefit. So I think, we had a close game against High Point, came out on the other end of that, and I think there was a part of us that was like, okay, we get the 2-goal lead, things will go our way, and now we have to work through when they don't, or what adjustments could we make at the end that maybe will put us on the right side of it. But it's all great experience.
You look at how the season's gone up to this point. You played 11 games. Still looking for your first win at home, but you haven't lost on the road. What a weird year, right? Have you ever been a part of anything like that?
No, and of course it's a year we have 10 home games and 7 away games, but we've been great on the road. The girls have. I think we just haven't. We start to get a little more heavy on the road now. We had our spring break trip, and that was our first overnight trip. So the girls were having a great time. Of course, we have a huge weekend, lacrosse-wise. So that part is exciting. I mean, it's exciting knowing that our tournament is on the road this year. Good thing it's not last year where we hosted. So there are a lot of positives, and you're right. Usually it's a lot harder to get them going and get them ready when you're on the road, but for whatever reason with these guys it's been the opposite. So we got to work to win a couple games here at home and be feeling good going into conference play.
Look at the season assessment up to this point. I think leading the conference in ground balls, about middle of the pack in scoring, middle of the pack in goals allowed. What has this team done really well, and what are some things you want to see them improve on?
Yes, I think we typically lead the nation in cause turnovers. That's been our thing. We're super aggressive. We like to disrupt and make plays. What we have to be careful of is that we don't get caught up in the chaos, because then sometimes we do, and then we turn the ball over just as much as we're causing the turnover, so it doesn't give us an advantage. So we have to be able to steal opportunities from other teams and take advantage of it. Even in our Stetson game, we caused a ton of turnovers in the beginning, but we were either turning it over or the goalie made a save. So you got to make them pay a little bit off some of these stolen possessions. So I think that's something we're looking to clean up and stuff. But I like our mindset. I like our aggressiveness. I like our relentlessness. I mean, they don't give up. We've been through a lot of different situations and they've pushed through. So I know that will help us later on down the road.
Who are your leaders up to this point, and are they who you thought they would be at this point in the season?
Yeah, so our captains are Jenna, Katie, and Madeline, and they were both captains last year, and we've had leaders step up. We're pretty heavy seniors. I think we have 11. So we have a lot of leadership everywhere. And to your point, it's been fun kind of watching them lead through tough times, right? It's easy when everything's great and vibes are high because you're winning games and having a great time. But this is where it's really challenging, and I've really enjoyed watching them lead through this and stay positive and stick together. That's what I told them. I said we just have to stay together and not get divided in this, and it will pay off in the end. And I think they're doing a really good job of that.
Well, like I said, 4-0 on the road. You're heading out on the road here this week to face a USF team that's having a good year, 7-3 so far. get down to Tampa, some warmer weather. You won't need that jacket down there.
Exactly right. I know.
You got to be excited about that and the challenge coming up here.
Yeah, I think this is a great opportunity for us to play two very good teams. Get out of campus, get on the road. We'll have Easter Monday, game at home. A lot of families will be in town for Easter. So I like the opportunity to just maybe take a little bit of pressure off in these two games, play two really competitive teams, learn a little bit more about ourselves, and keep moving.
Yeah, out of conference here for these next two. Notre Dame coming to campus, that's always a big thing whenever that does happen, regardless of the sport. How much do you talk to your team about that and just trying to get them, I don't want to say get them excited. They're always excited to play, right? But does this one have a little extra juice to it?
Yeah, I think so. And I think a lot of our girls is part of the reason why they come here. And they know they're going to be challenged. They know they're going to play some of the best teams in the country. And for us to be able to host a lot of these teams, that's been really special. And it's great. Even for recruiting, the more families, the more schools we can get to campus, it puts a little bit more spotlight on what we're doing and our facilities and our school. And I think, we recruited girls that want to play in these games. So they do get up for it. And again, I think they're sorting through being that team that's overlooked and the underdog to being that team that's supposed to win. And so I think we're kind of going through that a little bit. So getting some of these really challenging games is fun because I'm hopeful they can take a little pressure off, just have fun, compete, get better because you're playing a quality opponent, and I hope that'll give us, even more juice going into senior day.
Coach, appreciate your time. Safe travels to you to Tampa, and best of luck coming up here.
Thank you.